everybody? I'm back again with another video, and I'm in one of my favorite neighborhoods in Queens, which is Sunnyside. Then I'm at the train station. You can hear actually the train right here behind me. But I filmed a video here probably like a year or 2 years ago, so I'm here to do an update and see what's going on in the neighborhood. This is a neighborhood I think is super underrated. It's really close to the city. We have a train station, but once you go in the neighborhood, it's pretty like residential, pretty quiet. It even has a little bit of a suburban feel. So I'm here in the train station by 40 Lowry Street. They also got 46th Street. But I'm gonna start making my way into the neighborhood and then into the main streets and show you what's going on. So without further ado, join me. I'm about to hit the street level above ground. And then once you make it to the street, this is what you get right here. Super residential district. And there's more in the other side by the train station, which we're gonna walk later. This is Queens Boulevard right here, which is the main road in Queens. This is the subway station, the 7 train line. And then if you look over there, you can see the skyscrapers along on the city. Then Manhattan is in the background. And then you end up in a residential street like this. So I'm gonna start making my way here, then probably merge to 47th Avenue, then 48th Avenue to see what's going on. Also, another cool thing about this neighborhood, they have a lot of cool restaurants, food options, but you know, it's Queens. I think Queens is actually like the food capital of New York City. And if you keep going deeper more towards my left side, it's gonna take you straight into Jackson Heights or Corona and all of that. And those are one of the areas that have tons of food options, street food, international food from all over. That's why they call the 7 train like the international line, because it goes to all these different types of neighborhoods. You can see it's just a residential street with apartment complex. But when I make it to the other side by Sunnyside Gardens, it's gonna get even nicer because it got like some beautiful trees. It's literally like 2 neighborhoods in one. This side is different from the other side of the train tracks. But it's pretty interesting to look at. And ahead of me should be 47th Avenue. So I'll merge left and see what's going on. So I made it to 47th Avenue, which is right here. And even ahead of me, I see the street, how it changes with a lot of trees and stuff. So I'm gonna cross my street right now and show you what's going on. But then we got some beautiful apartment complex right here. Look at this nice residential buildings over here. And I think, like I say, Queens is characterized by its distinctive residential neighborhoods. If you go to Forest Hills, it's like they got some beautiful houses that it will make you feel like if you're in the suburbs outside of New York. But then you see all of this, you know, the trees, all of that, you know, it's just plain beauty, pretty gorgeous. But now let's make it back to 47th Avenue, and there should be an intersection that takes you to Greenpoint, and it would take you like to where the main streets is happening, the action and all of that. But then another thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it towards 48th Avenue, because I don't think I've seen that side, and I think there's a couple of cool restaurants happening over there that I've seen in Instagram. You know, the thing about New York, especially Queens, is that you gotta explore every single corner because you can find a lot of hidden gems. As you can see, mostly residential. They got all this old buildings. I'm not sure if they're like the World War type of buildings that we got all over New York. And over here too, you know, apartment complex. And I said many times, if I was to live like in Queens, I think this would be the neighborhood that I would love to live. Because it's really close to the train station, close to the city, but then you get all this peaceful vibes. You don't get like the craziness or the heavy crowds that you get in Manhattan, you know. This is where you get like a semi-suburb feel, but literally like really close to, you know, Manhattan. So I would say about a 10-15 minute commute. So you can't beat that. You know, here we got a local park, including a basketball court, but you see this all over the city, all over New York. And I guess because it's hot outside today, you don't see really much people. And then they got a couple of public restrooms. Then the playgrounds is on the other side. Then Greenpoint Avenue should be that way, where there's a main street that will connect you with other main streets right here in Sunnyside. And this over here is Greenpoint Avenue, which is really cool. Got a nice looking intersection right here, but I'm gonna make it over here to make it a 48th Avenue to see what's going on. You really don't see much people, but I guess in the evening a lot of people come out, you know. But also could be because, you know, the heat today is a little bit hot. But that's normal in the summertime, so let me just walk over here to see what can I find. Got this beautiful building. It's a medical office, but it has a beautiful street meal over here. Then you hear the kids, because there's a playground over there with kids playing, there's a water fountain and all of that, so You see that all over New York, and it's a good idea to refresh yourself. And of course, they got the bike lanes. Like I say, you can bike literally all over New York City. But let me just look at this beautiful mural that we got over here. I'm a huge fan of street art. And this over here is pretty nice. Then ahead of me, I see activity going on, which is 48th Avenue. And I don't think, like I said, I've been to Sunnyside a couple of times, but I don't think I walk around this area over here to 48th Avenue, and I see already bakery, restaurants and stuff. One day I was live streaming in the area and I discovered like a cool Colombian coffee shop. So it's like they got food from all over here. Got like different types of food that you would not see any other place. Of course, they got Hispanic food, but they got like food from Paraguay, Bolivia, you know, most of the times when you think about Hispanic food, it's mostly like the Mexican, maybe also a couple of other places, but like Bolivia and Paraguay, that's like it's something different. A cool bakery over here looking pretty nice. It's pretty big, it goes all over here. This is 48th Avenue, mixture of apartment complex. Then if you go down here, it should be business happening, but pretty quiet today. And one thing I like about the neighborhood is how spacious and wide the streets are, you know, the sidewalk, everything like that. Then you look at the surrounding areas, pretty nice and residential. Then a couple of restaurant joints happening over here. Over here they got a nice looking church. It's pretty beautiful. Like architecture. Then a pretty nice residential quiet street happening over here. And then to my right you see a couple of business. Actually, I passed a restaurant that's called Bolivian Jama, and I think they're pretty much known by their chicken sandwich. I heard it's probably one of the best around the city. But yeah, I see a lot like on Instagram. I literally just passed it, but they got like music playing out loud, so. But maybe one day I'll go back and try it, see how it tastes. I say this is a super chill neighborhood, and when you walk around the streets, you just see people chilling and socializing. Like I just passed there and there were some guys playing dominoes and stuff. And that is part of the culture of this regular neighborhoods in New York City. Something that I love, you know. Over here, I think there's like a Colombian joint or a sports bar. This over here is 47th Street. They got a Salvadorian restaurant here, Pupusas. And this Colombian joint right here, looks pretty good. But I think I'm gonna do 48th Street. So that way I can go and turn back, because I think it's mostly like a main street. I'm gonna make it a 47th Avenue and turn back. And probably hit 46th Street, which is kind of like the main street in this district right here. Close to the train station, they even have like a huge sign that says Sunnyside, you know. But yeah, this is a really beautiful neighborhood. Here, like you see, pretty much what the neighborhood characterizes, like apartment complex. But I say once you pass Queens Boulevard by the 7 train and go on the other side, you're gonna see how the vibe changes. It's like you literally enter another neighborhood. This is 47th Avenue right here, and you can see what's going on. Got a couple outdoor dinings, a couple of cool spots over here. So it's combined with residential houses and restaurants happening over here. So every single street that I'm walking around this neighborhood is totally worth it to explore and check out, you know. It's pretty cool and pretty dope. So before I hit the main road, I'll walk over here because I want to show you some of the beautiful architecture of apartments that we got right here. So it's all like residential buildings, but look at the design on the top of the ceiling. Also like this one, like it has like its own unique architecture. Like I tell you, New York never ceases to amaze me with all the types of architecture that you can find no matter what neighborhood you go. And I'm just gonna make it ahead to Greenpoint and merge to 46th Street to see the main street. You see local business like barber shops, even a Colombian bakery right here. Chipata Bakery, nice. I guess they sell like some good empanadas and coffee and stuff like that. Then look at this one here. This is a beautiful street art. I saw a restaurant that was like from Cali, Colombia. This is Greenpoint Avenue over here, and you'll see a lot of restaurants here. Like they got a Peruvian one, Rico. I heard it's a really good restaurant. I'm not sure if it's this one or another one in the corner. I saw it on Instagram, and then they got a coffee shop right here in the corner. So tons of food options happening in Sunnyside. Like I say, it's one of my favorite neighborhoods in Queens, New York. So this over here is the borderline of Greenpoint Avenue with 46th Street, like a busy intersection here. That's pretty nice. Don't know on this side, there's not much going on, but it's still pretty cool. So I'm walking over here and I heard a lot about this Peruvian restaurant right here, Rico. And Peruvian food is really good. Some of the best foods around the world, you know. This one's kind of like a high-end looking one, but pretty nice. And this is 46th Street right here, as you can see. Pretty beautiful. They got, you know, supermarkets. Wow, 24 hours this joint right here says. Just like in Astoria, Queens. So adding at 2 in the morning, you come here to buy your fruits and vegetables. One of the beauties about New York and the convenient thing that's going on right here. So yeah, this is really cool. And they got more stores, and then you made it back here again to Queens Boulevard. And then you got the sign over here that says Sunnyside. So it's really nice. So I'm just gonna make it on the other side of Queens Boulevard, which is part of Sunnyside, but they call it more like Sunnyside Gardens. This is where you're gonna see how the neighborhood changes. They're gonna get even more residential, nicer, and the streets are gonna be covered with a lot of trees and nice looking apartment building. Here I am passing underneath the subway. And then they got like a plaza here with vendors and people chilling around, selling stuff. There's always been right here, you know, so. But then we make it towards the other side over here that's pretty interesting to look at. Then Long Island City is all the way over that side at the end. And now you're gonna see how nice the neighborhood's gonna change. It's gonna turn. We also got like a street art right here. Sunnyside, this is really cool. So here immediately you can start seeing the changes, especially with the vegetation. But also if you go to Jackson Heights by Diversity Plaza and you walk forward 74th Street and you keep going forward, it turns something like this too, like with a lot of trees, apartment complex. So I like it. And then once I keep making it more forward, you're gonna see the transition of the neighborhood. It's gonna get even nicer. So you see how busy it was on the other side where the businesses are, and then here, it's like I literally enter another world. That's the beauty about exploring different types of neighborhoods in New York City. You can see all the changes throughout the streets and the avenue. Look at this building over here with the leaves covering out the apartment complex. This is something that makes it pretty unique. Gotta love how people are in the cars and stuff and they see you filming and they look like curiosity. It's New York City, you know, expect people to be filming all over. And this is 43rd Street, then ahead should be Skillman Avenue. So, you know, a lot of cool stuff going on. Then also the streets are pretty much bike friendly. They got like their own bike lanes, as you can see over here. A couple of business going on around here too. Look at this over here, the street ending in the back, and I'm surrounded by the trees and the leaves, and I gotta tell you, it makes a huge difference. When I was walking over that way, I was literally baking in the heat, but then over here you walk by the trees and it feels cooler, and believe it or not, you know, plants, trees, nature, it really helps a lot with the weather. I heard a lot, they did something in the city called Medellin in Colombia, where they planted a lot of trees, and I heard it helped drop the weather, I think like 2 degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit. It was probably Celsius, but it made a big difference because it's a city literally surrounded by forests and trees, so I'm gonna have to make my way there one day. Then once I hit a block ahead, that's where you're gonna see another major change. You're gonna see some oak-looking trees, I guess it's oak trees, and then more of a residential apartment complex that it makes you feel like if you're outside the city. Now it literally feels like I enter another area, another district, but this is still part of Sunnyside. Let me just flip the camera to show you ahead of me. This over here, look at the oak trees, pretty big, surrounded by the houses, you know, and the streets are pretty quiet. This is, you know, pretty much like a private area. Dang it, some areas even have like little sidewalks that will shortcut you to the other street, but this is really cool. See what I was talking about, how this neighborhood compares to where I started my video over here. Like, this is just plain beauty. See how nice and well the sidewalks are. And it's literally covered with trees. This is something that I love about when I walk in different districts of the city. Then it feels like the fall season with all the leaves dropping down like this, but it's just the beginning of summer. So, and just look at this over here. pretty crazy. So a couple of more blocks, I think it looks pretty much similar. Just trying to show you a full view of what you get around here in this part of Sunnyside. And those houses over here are pretty nice too, I love it. So glad that I came back here, you know, after maybe like a year and a half. It's always good to come back and check in the neighborhood and give like an update of what's going on. You know, really can't get enough of all these beautiful streets that we're getting right here. It's like you're literally walking under a tunnel of trees. Just look at this. See? I think if I show over this way at 360, it's even nicer. Wow. That's even better. Also, another cool thing, they got this little sidewalks that connects you to the other street without having to walk all the way towards the end. And then you get to enjoy this houses, and this houses they have cameras too, so you know, highly secured area. Just keeps going. I can tell you I could spend a whole evening exploring this neighborhood or many other neighborhoods in New York City. You know, like a lot of people when they think about New York, they always think about Manhattan, Midtown, all of that, but there are tons of other neighborhoods, you know, that makes this great city. Then also another bad thing, there's a lot of content creators fear-mongering, trying to make it seem like it's really bad here in New York City. I mean, yes, we have some issues, but it's not all that bad, you know. It's mostly good stuff happening versus the bad stuff. So look at me, I'm filming here comfortable. I've made a lot of videos all over New York City, and so far so good. Made it to 39th Avenue, which is pretty nice too. And like I said in many other videos, you know, when you see the sign of the streets in brown color, because it's mostly an historic district, like I see over here ahead of me. Like you see the green one, but then here it says 48th Street and 39th Avenue, so that's how you know it's an historic district. And it says Sunnyside Gardens Historic District, so that's pretty cool. Then I figure over that way it should be like a local park, but then I'm giving you a 360 view of what's going on here. Pretty beautiful streets. If you're walking straight over here towards the end, it would take you to Northern Boulevard, literally bordering Mayor World vehicle, which is actually the largest used car vehicle dealership in the whole world. So I wanted to check out like a little local park they have over here, but it's actually private. It says that they're private property, so I guess no trespassing, but that's okay because so far I'm enjoying the views of what I'm seeing right here. This is actually the park that I wanted to check out, Sunnyside Gardens Park. But like I said, it's private, so I guess it's only for like the residents that lives over here, so all good, all Gucci, 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 no problemo. And this is 39th Avenue, as you can see, covered with the oak trees. But I'm gonna make it a 50th Street because I think the architecture of the apartments change over there. You can hear you get a motorbike no matter where you go. You always hear noise in New York City, but I'll make it a 50th Street, and then I'm gonna start making it way back towards Queens Boulevard, and then I'm probably just gonna wrap up the video of this amazing neighborhood. So I'm here now on 50th Street, and pretty much like you see in other places, the apartments are similar to many other that I've seen in other parts of Queens, even in the Bronx, even some parts of Brooklyn. But it's still nice to look at. So you can see it's mostly like a 2-story house, maybe 3 floors with the basement or the ground level. Then you got this over here that kind of gets you vibe like if you're in a suburban area in Europe or somewhere like that. But still pretty nice, you know, the trees, you hear the birds. And you got some beautiful flowers right here. Yeah, so this is pretty much top-notch. So now I'm in Skillman Avenue, and this avenue here is pretty nice too, you know. You got apartment complex, it has restaurants and beautiful sidewalks. You can see a little bit of what's going on over here with the apartment complex, of course. It's pretty nice. And then you make a detour in some of the streets, and it's pretty much residential. So that was the end of my video exploring Sunnyside here in Queens, New York. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.